What's going on, people? This is Shad Harris, and today is day 20 of my quarantine thoughts. And today, and actually, before I go into today, so during this whole period of quarantine and just sitting in the house and all that stuff, it kind of puts you like deep in thought on a lot of stuff. It allows you to do a lot of reflection. So I always reflect back on stuff I could have done better in life, stuff that I wish would have went a different way, stuff that I kind of just regret doing. So one of the things I often think back on, or I've been thinking about it pretty frequently lately, is back when I was going to get married at 21. Yeah, so when I proposed to Elle, that wasn't my first time proposing. I'm going to briefly go through the story and then just kind of talk about my reflection on it. So when I was 19, I was in college and I moved down to Orlando, Florida for like 7 months to be part of the Disney internship. Shout out to all my people who was part of the Disney internship, right? So when I was down there, it was cool. Met a lot of great people, but I also met a young lady. We was kicking it and I was like, yo, I love this. I love this. Um, the internship ended. It was like, you know what, we're going to still try to be together. So after a couple of months of doing a long distance thing, she's like, yo, I want to move up there. Cool. So we moved her up here. She stayed with my parents for a little bit. Or we both stayed with my parents for a little bit, and then we got her an apartment. And keep in mind, this was my first really long-term relationship. Before that, I was doing like little months here, 3 months here, couple months here, so on and so forth. But this was my first real, legit, long-term relationship. So we moved in, everything was cool. I feel like we were still, even though by this time when she moved in, we moved into our apartment together, we was probably together for like a year, but it still felt like the honeymoon phase. Because we, like I said, we had the honeymoon phase when we was in Florida, and then we was long distance. So we really didn't really get a chance to really spend a reasonable amount of time together. But anywho, so we moved in, everything was cool, and then I ended up putting a car in my name for her, which I definitely wouldn't suggest anybody doing that. So I put a car in my name for her because I had to get some work done on my car and I had the money, so I got a loan, and I just said, you know what, we're gonna get her a car, I'm gonna fix my car. So that was that. So we started living together. We started beefing a little bit. Like, yeah, we're just like, we was beefing. And then probably around the time our lease was about to come up, I was like, you know what? We just need to kind of call it quits. Like, it's not working. Oh, actually, take it back. So for her to move down here, she said that, I feel like, oh, we both had a conversation. I ain't gonna put on her. She said that, you know, I'm not moving down there unless it's gonna be something, long term, like us getting married or whatever. I'm like, yeah, most definitely. And so I proposed on Valentine's Day. But before that, we had this big blowout, beef, argument, all that stuff, where it looks like it wasn't gonna happen. But then I ended up deciding to propose. Had the ring and all that. And that's probably, buying the car is my first regret because, like I said, I don't suggest anybody doing that. My second was proposing, knowing that I wasn't ready for that. Or I don't know if I knew if I was ready for that. Like, I thought I was, but I was still super young and didn't really map out how life was going to go. So I proposed, and I'm like, yeah, it just doesn't feel right. Not anything to do with her, but just how it all happened. So yeah, that was my second mistake. The second time where I felt like I was doing fuckboy behavior. And then so fast forward again when we was about to, our lease was almost up, and we were like definitely like beefing like all the time. My third fuckboy behavior was we said that, you know what, this is over. The next day, I moved all my stuff out of the apartment, or all my clothes out of the apartment. And so she was pretty much left with the apartment. Like when she got off work, it was none of my clothes was there. So then she told me, she about to move back to Florida. I was like, all right, cool. But my car was still in her name. And everybody was like, yo, you got to get that car back. Like, no matter what you do, you got to get that car back because it's in your name. She could be spiteful and like, know what, I'm not paying it. And then it's like, you're shit out of luck. So I was like, dang, I do need to get it. So I went over there and got the car back, which wasn't a smooth situation at all. Like, it wasn't smooth at all. Like, my boy Joe helped me with that. Shout out to Joe. You always been down. But it wasn't smooth at all. I had to call my sister. Like, it was just a lot of stuff. So that's another regret or fuckboy mistake I made. Just doing that. Like, it just wasn't a good situation. And then we just broke up. And then she moved away. She moved away the day after Thanksgiving, so Black Friday. And it was just a year of mistakes on my part. So as I get older, I often reflect on like past situations and just things I could have done better because it kind of affect me. Like it just kind of affect me knowing that I feel like I have a lot of high standards and morals. So when I do stuff that like goes against those ethics that I have, it kind of sits with me for a little bit. So just really thinking about that and just thinking of things I could have done differently in my life. It just made me think I had like a lot of fuckboy ways. Yeah, a lot of fuckboy ways. So yeah. I really just wanted to hop up here and just kind of tell that story because it was something that I don't really talk about. Like, I don't really talk about. So yeah. So, and also want to say, to her, I don't want to say her name, but I apologize. I apologize for doing stupid shit. And bring you up here when that probably wasn't the greatest choice to make. But, yeah. So, yeah. I apologize for that. I apologize for it all. So, this is day 20 of my quarantine thoughts as I sit here and reflect and just think about life and, yeah, just life. So, once again, this is Shad Harris, and stay safe, stay running free, but keep creating, keep shooting, and y'all have a good one.